So, welcome back once again and very good morning. As I have promised you that I will discuss about the important question from the Indian economy on the eve of independence and also from the Indian economy 1950 to 1990 as per the board point of view, which are very important. We will discuss together. So, here I am with some of those questions which are very important. So let's understand those questions and how to write the answer of those questions. That is very much important. So let's begin. So first is from the on the eve of independence. These questions I have given you earlier as an assignment to practice. These are those questions which I have specially chosen for this year. These are the important question for this year. Okay. The first question is, what were the causes of stagnation of agriculture sector? Agriculture sector, you are knowing already. We have discussed about the causes. Second is consequences of commercialization of agriculture sector. The reason commercialization, their proper notes you need to means these topic you are going to study thoroughly. What was the twofold motive behind the deindustrialization system by the British? This question this year in the board also it has been asked. Reason for declining of handicraft industries. What do you mean by economic drain? Related to this topic you are going to prepare the notes. Even the most crucial economic challenges at the time of independence. This question is very important. This question consists entire summary of the chapter. The answer you are going not to write by the thinking only one topic. You are going to study entire concept of the chapter. Then the summary of the chapter will be written in this. What are the various social and economic values reflected by the introduction of railway? Here you are going to write down what was the benefit of the railway economically and socially, what the benefit and positive and negative both aspect you need to write. Why did the progress of modern industries remain slow? Here, what was the motive of British people and why they deliberately delayed the progress of Indian domestic industries? So, you are going to discuss about those things. Features of occupational structure. You are going to primary, secondary, and everything. Their features you need to explain. Various features of demographic condition, the very important topic of this chapter, that birth rate, death rate, high rate, their data and the year and the definition especially is very important to mention in these questions. Okay, you may be having doubt in your mind that why ma'am is giving so much stress to these two chapters. Actually, these three chapters actually are consisting 12 marks for the board point of view, and these are very important. If you are thoroughly going to understand and clear those concepts, easily you will be able to score 12 marks. That's why I'm giving more stress. Around 7 to 8 videos I have made only on this one chapter. So let's begin the year 1950 and 1990, what was the Indian economy and their topics. This chapter is rather more important than the previous. In this chapter, these topic we have studied: goals of 5-year plans, agricultural reforms, industrial development, foreign trade development, and economic criticism. Whatever the development we have done, are they beneficial for the economy or was there any shortcomings? That topic. So let's see. This topic start with the economic system. And here economic system, we already know there are three type of economic system followed in worldwide: capitalist economy, socialist economy, and mixed economy. We need to know what is economic system. It refers to a system which solves the central problem of an economy. Central problem means what to produce, how to produce, for whom to produce, related to distribution, related to choice of technique, related to the quantity and the type of goods. So here three system we are having. One is capitalist, means the productions are owned and controlled by private sector and goods are produced by as per the demand of the market. Socialist economy means productions are owned and controlled by government, and government only decide what goods are to be produced and according to the need of society. The combination of these two are mixed economic system. In this, decisions are taken by the government and economic activities conducted by the market. So related to this chapter, only one question is being asked, that difference between these system. So I have already given you notes about the differences. There are in the book also on the different basis. The difference between these three is mentioned. Go through it. Next, we have to see the goals of 5-year plans. These are so important. The goals of 5-year plans, before that you need to know what is plan. Plan spells out how the resources of a nation should be put out to use, and it should have some general goals as well as some objectives which are to be achieved within a specified period of time. If we see, there are 5 goals. Actually, but in NCERT, only 4 goals are mentioned, so we have to write only 4. In addition, you can explain the 5th one also. The first goal is equity, which is equitable distribution of income and wealth. Second is growth, increase in the aggregate output of goods and services, and also increasing the national income. Third goal was modernization, means adoption of new technology and the changes in social outlook. The fourth one is very important, that is self-reliance, not to depend on others, means reducing dependence on import and other countries. The fifth one is full employment, which is not mentioned in NCERT, but later on it has been added. So you can explain that also. Now, what type of question will be asked from this topic? The question will be asked related to that any of the goal, how it has affected the society and the economy. We will discuss about the questions related to this topic, how the implementation of goal we have done by doing the land reforms, industrial development and foreign trade. In that land reforms, we have to study about the green revolution, which is very important. And industrial development, we have to study about the IPRs, means policy resolutions. And in foreign trade, the very important import substitution. But first see the question from the planning commission, means goals. What are the question will be asked? See the first question, that is explain growth with equity as a planning objective and its aims of 5-year plans. Here only nothing is we have to explain about only equity concept in 4 points. Why did India opt for planning? Now reason we have to write down. The reason will be related to based on the first chapter. The failures which we have faced in first chapter, that will be the reason for opting the planning. So those we are going to write down in the points. The third, does modernization as a planning objective create contradiction in the light of employment generation? Of course, the answer will be either yes or no, both kind of. The most of negative aspects you will have to explain in this. Of course, modernization has brought laurels and a lot of changes in the economy. But even after, somehow we had a lot of poverty condition was so same as, and vicious circle was there. We have to explain thinking about those 2 concepts. Why was it is necessary for the developing countries like India to follow self-reliance? Very important question of this year. That self-reliance why India has adopted, and was it beneficial? Yes, most of the time we have seen it was beneficial. So we are going to write the merit point, means good point of self-reliance in this question. Now let's see agricultural reforms. Agricultural reforms is one of the important reforms taken in the Indian economy 1950 to 1990. I have explained these reforms to you earlier also, that institutional reforms, under that land ceiling, land reforms we have to study. Technical reforms, that is very important, green revolution and golden revolution. We have to study about this these 2 in this. In the green revolution, you are going to study criticism and means shortcomings and achievements both. Then general reforms, whatever the beside these 2, whatever the lackness was in agriculture field, how it has been taken care of, these things we are going to thoroughly study. Children, you just remember that this chapter we are not studying like a social science. We are just technically we have to study that this scenario was there. Now how we handle these scenario by using what are the specific those those planning, that topic you need to just learn. Now see the questions. Important question from this topic is, what is green revolution, their advantages and disadvantages. It's very important. Then difference between green revolution and golden revolution. Many students have asked me what is golden revolution, so I have added answer also in this video. The most important is what is subsidy. Subsidy will be asked surely this year from this topic, that why subsidy should be given or not should be given, means their arguments in favor of or in against of you need to answer. Then what was the primary objective of land reforms? In that you are going to explain both the concept land ceiling and abolition of intermediaries. So this was the important question from agriculture. Green revolution, you already know. I am teaching you what do you mean by golden revolution. Golden revolution is a increase in the production of the horticulture crops. Now what is horticulture crops? These are, except rice, wheat, means all those food grains, whatever vegetables, fruits, flowers, any medicinal plant, whatever we used to produce, these are known as horticultures. The horticultural crops, when we are producing that, their increase in production is golden revolution. But green revolution was to increase the production in the food grains through the HYV seeds, especially in wheat and rice. If we see the production, both the productions increased, means green revolution increased the production in rice and wheat, and golden revolution increased the production in fruits, vegetable and spices. In the green revolution, we became self-sufficient by the production of wheat and rice, and through the golden revolution, we were leader in the production of mangoes, bananas, means these fruits. So overall, golden revolution is what? Increase in production of horticultural crops. Now see industrial development. It is very important. Most of the students do mistake in this topic only. Always remember, industrial policy resolution first time started in 1948. There should not be any doubt. In the year 1948, the policy resolution, means industrial policy resolution, IPR, was first implemented. Later on, we had several amendments. Amendments in 1956 was implemented successfully. As per this, we divided industries into 3 categories. And these first categories, under that there were 17 industries which was given specially to public sector. In the second category, 12 industries were there, and these were handled by public and private both. And the third categories were totally given to the private sector in the supervision of public sector. Apart from that, to develop the backward area, we have provided industrial concession, and we that time it was compulsory to obtain a license to open any industry. Concession were given only to develop the backward region by giving them exceptions in taxation, rebates in taxation, and other subsidies were given. The role of public sector was very important in this. Why? Because public sector creates strong industrial base. It improved the social welfare. It reduced the income inequality. Also, it provide employment. And for the long run generation, we only can rely on public sector. Because of these reasons, we had given so much stress, so much importance to the public sector. But we have seen the result that the public sector has not performed as per the expectation by the government. Due to that, we had a lot of losses. We will discuss about those losses in the next chapter. Next important was development of small scale industry. The currently also it is very important. You may have heard about the project passed by the government, MSME, related to small scale industry defined with the reference of maximum investment allowed on the asset of a unit, one unit. It can now you can extend the investment up to rupees 5 crore. Small scale industry are also labor intensive, so it generate more employment. It promote equity, and naturally small scale industry we cannot complete it with the large scale unit. Production of certain product is reserved for the small scale industries. Means all the product we cannot produce with the large unit only. We require small scale industry. So the country, like developing countries like India, there should be lot of small scale industries. So let's see the questions related to industry topic. The first question is why public sector given leading role during planning period. Right now I have discussed, and even here I have given you an answer also. Why and how private sector regulated under the IPR 1956, means here you are going to discuss about the privilege given to the private sector as per the 1956 IPR. How has India's occupational structure changed during the period from 1950 to 1990? Means how the workforce has been shifted from the primary to secondary, secondary to tertiary. That portion, means that summary you need to write down under this question. What were the major shortcomings in industrial policy, means criticism of industry we need to write down. Can the Make in India eliminate some of their problems? Here Make in India is given, but next time maybe the current policy or current program which is implemented by the Prime Minister, that can also be asked. So always be very, very alert regarding the current happenings in the economy. Now see the question. Here the question is being given that public sector was given leading role. Even then they incurred huge losses. To discuss the usefulness of public sector undertaking in the light of this fact. So here the answer, just look at how it is given. First the meaning it has been mentioned, then after the points. Like it creates strong and reliable infrastructural base, it develop underdeveloped area, mobilize saving, and etc. So in this way we can answer. Now see foreign trade. In this only one thing we have to give more stress, that is inward looking trade strategy. So in this question also has been asked to board exam in this year, that what inward looking trade policy was and what were the features of foreign trade reforms, how import substitution can protect the domestic industries. If you see carefully, you will see in all the question only one thing is being asked related to inward looking trade strategy. Here import substitution is related to inward looking, how import substitution can protect the industry, how India's occupation sector has been changed, critically evaluate the foreign trade. So I have, in summary of these, one picture I have pasted related to inward looking trade strategy. See, if this question will be asked, only these points you have to write down, nothing much. That what do you mean by inward looking trade strategy? It refers to the policy of having reliance on import substitution and protection of domestic industry through the import restrictions and import duties. Under that, two strategy was followed: saving foreign exchange and achieving self-reliance. This was done with the applying the tariffs and quotas. Now you are going to explain what is tariff and what is quotas and how it protected the domestic firms from the foreign competition. Okay, and why this import substitution we used to have, the reason we need to write down. So that's why I have given you answer also. Now wait is over. Let's have those questions which has been asked this year in the board papers. See the question number 32 I am talking about. Name any one prominent economist who estimated India's national income during the colonial period. I have explained you there are 4 or 5 economists were there: R.C. Desai, Dadabhai Naroji, V.K. Rao, etc. Discuss any 2 causes of Indian agricultural stagnation during the colonial period. You all are knowing stagnation causes: Jamindari system, land settlement system, commercialization. These things you need to explain. If you see the previous question of 31, state the meaning of import substitution and how import substitution can protect the domestic industries. Right now we have discussed about it. Here you are going to explain thoroughly entire import substitution, explaining with the tariff and quotas also. These questions consist 4 mark question. Around 8 question has been asked from the first 2 chapters. In the next set, question was state any one positive contribution made by the British. Positive contribution like railway, communication, 6 or 7 I have explained you. Second, indicate the volume and direction of foreign trade of India at the time of independence. At the time of independence, what was the situation of foreign trade? You must remember India was merely exporter than the importer. We were purchasing the material on a very high price and selling them on the low price, means drain, economic drain. These things we need to explain. In the third set, it was asked what was the twofold motive behind the systematic deindustrialization affected by the British in pre-independent of India. Overall, these all questions consist related to first chapter. What student did mistake that they do not understand that we are talking about the pre-independence and at the time of year 1990. But what they used to do, they used to write the answer in the current scenario, means thinking about that these all happen right now. Like the question was import substitution, how it will protect to domestic industry. What student has done, they have written the question answer in the present scenario. If import will be there, if import substitution will be there, we'll be able to save this and that. Now country will be able to save the investment. No, 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 not like that. We have to explain, thinking about that you are in the era of year 1947 till 1990, and during that period whatever the planning has been taken by the government. So what scenario could have been that time? In that scenario you need to write down the answer. So children, always remember while answering that the question has been asked related to, first you need to know related to which book it has been asked. Most of the students do mistake mixing the section, means macro concept they used to write in Indian economy, and Indian economy concept they used to write in macro. So that should not be there first. Second, some of the tips I have written: read chapter point wise. It's very necessary. Learn the points. While answering, use headings, and wherever necessary, explain those headings. Focus on facts and figures. Facts and figures, I'm talking about those data which is given in the book. Important dates. Avoid feeling based answer. It's very important. Not write feeling based answer. Use appropriate point and headings. Always learn NCERT question of each chapter. Thoroughly prepare MCQs, which is very important. Most of the students this year who has scored 79, 78 out of 80, they, because of their MCQs was 100% correct. Learn the definition of different terms. Different terms, there are a number of terms are there, the number of definitions are there. It's, you need to learn those definitions. That carries at least 1 mark if you're writing. So these were the important tips for the exam. So now I hope you do not have any doubt in this chapter. We will have test, and the test this time I'm going to take subjective test little different. So be prepared. I hope thoroughly you are going to complete the topic, and the subjective test I will take in a different manner. All the best. Thank you.